Key to start your very own Green Day signature Corvette and $1,000 cash coming up a little bit later this morning. Be ready to call when you hear that Green Day song sometime between 8:15 and 8:30. And, of course, all week long, accepting your submissions for Park Week. We unfortunately live in a place that has the worst parking lots. So we're set up for failure from the very beginning. They are terrible. Spots,
and everyone has to have a car here.
Got to have a car. Spots are too small. But as a result, we still are some of the worst parkers on the planet. And every year we've done Park Week, I'm still amazed by some of the pictures I get, especially when people give us the exact locations as to where they caught it, like Target parking lot, Woodland Hills, whatever the case may be. They are so strong, these submissions, that every year I go, we can't outdo ourselves.
And I think I wonder if it's a self-fulfilling prophecy when you move to Southern California, you started out as a good parker, but then you become a bad parker because you're seeing so many bad examples. And you're like, well, if no one else cares, I guess I'm not going to either. No one respects these lines.
No one does. The lines are like not even suggestive anymore. They're just like, whatever. They're just there, it seems like. People don't even look at them.
Kind of a guidance.
They're a construct.
Yeah, thank you, Jake. The lines at parking spots are a construct, according to Jake, and they're not real.
They are literally constructed.
Someone theorized on the DMs at Klein Alley Show that perhaps all of the forced valets and all of the reasons we have to valet in this town, as a result, you forget how to park because sometimes you can't even do it yourself, and people have lost the ability. But we will get into some Park Week submissions and give away some tickets. If you come across bad parkers all week, send the pictures to us, #Park Week at Klein Alley Show, and we'll make sure that you are eligible to win yourself some tickets. Right now, though, your news.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News. You know what's fun? Drugs are fun. Wait, did I say that out loud? Kids, say nope to dope and dare or something.
That's right.
Well, it's been 2 weeks, and where is Hawk Tua girl now? Do we still love her? Are we over her? Things have escalated a lot. She has done her first round of interviews, which is very strange to see in-depth interviews based entirely on 8 seconds of video. She's also done her first paid appearance at a day club in Florida, where they celebrated her reaching 1 million followers on Instagram, with hot girls in bikinis shooting air guns and riding around in fake airplanes. She also spent some time with Shaq, who apparently has taken Hawk Tua girl under his wing, and he brought her out on stage during one of his DJ sets, and the crowd obviously went crazy. She's now considering leaving Nashville and heading here to California because she is rumoredly close to landing a reality show.
The amount of people that have been in this town pursuing their dream for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years.
And all they had to do was spit on that thing?
All they had to do was spit on that thing. It's just, you can never replicate that. It was the perfect storm of the right thing, the right time. She was also attractive. Listen, it didn't hurt that she was good looking. And there's a million people could have said that line, and maybe they have before, and it never would have taken off the way that it did with her, but it is crazy now that she claimed in one interview she's got like 17 offers for TV projects. And there's people in this town that are like, are you effing serious?
Yeah, I know. And it's frustrating, and it makes you lose hope as an actual artist. Not that I'm one, but when you think about people like that getting their fame, right? She's going viral, and then at first she was elusive. No one could find Hawk Tua girl, and I think that added to the mystery, the intrigue.
Right,
of
where's
who she
Hawk Tua
was.
girl?
Where is she?
Where is she?
Social media and all this stuff. It was like somebody winning the lottery. When are they going to come forward? And then finally, she lawyered up or Instagrammed up and then came forward and go, I am Hawk Tua girl, and I am ready to take this direction in life.
Right. And good on her, because people said, look, the people are going to care about you for probably 3 weeks, maybe, and this will be the time if you're going to capitalize. And now she's got a line of merch. I've never seen merch get released so quickly in my life. I mean, not just
she's
one
wearing
thing.
a Hawk Tua 24 hat.
It's hats, shirts, Allie. I mean, she's got 15, 20 things up for grabs right now. I mean, you can get them all.
Smoke Flower did a thing with her.
Smoke Flower did a thing with her, too? God damn it. Today's our big day. Today's our release.
All right, planes are getting pretty dicey these days. Boeing is planning to plead guilty to fraud involving the crash of that 737 MAX. I know you're thinking which crash, because there have been many. Then you think about the fact that 2 of the Boeing whistleblowers are dead, and then you have all the problems that are still happening with Boeing planes that are taking off and landing today. The latest one happening right here at LAX when a wheel fell off a United flight during takeoff, and an Allegiant Air pilot had to be the one witnessing it and reporting it and going, hey guys, by the way, that wheel just fell off.
Oh, man.
So kind of feels like, I know we were talking about the cheap wars with fast food. I think this is, again, the beginning of the cheap wars with airfare because you can't even depend on a plane taking off with all of its parts anymore.
I will say that flying has gotten kind of exciting again because, I used to always hate the people that would clap when you landed because I'd be like, are you serious?
Well, like in the 50s and 60s, it was like, oh, my God.
Right, but
I have flown in the air and lived to tell the tale.
But there was a time I remember growing up where, like, anytime the plane landed, it felt like half the plane, like, broke into, like, applause. But I think that was a lot of, like, relief. But I think that's going to come back now. Like, oh, we made it with all of our wheels and wings.
Bring back air landing applause. Definitely.
Please don't. I really hate it. But I understand why it would come back.
And then RIP because earlier last hour, Klein mentioned it, that Mod Pizza was probably going to be filing for bankruptcy. It's a pizza chain with over 500 locations in the U.S., and they are currently working on a, quote, turnaround plan, which is kind of what Red Lobster said. Mm-hmm. They're like, we're working on it. We're not out of the woods yet, but, we're going to restructure, which pretty much means that very soon they're going to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and it continues this Chapter 11 summer.
Yeah, Ali had an interesting point, and we may have to start bankruptcy bingo where we all lock in a few places that we think this year are going to make the big announcement.
Or maybe you get a bingo card and there's already some bankrupt businesses on there.
Yeah.
Ones that filed earlier this year because there have been like dozens.
But, it's interesting. It's like Toys R Us, that was a big one a couple years ago, and now they're supposedly like reopening a bunch of stores this year. So
but they're like reopening little kiosks inside of Macy's and stuff. It's not a real comeback.
We get into a brand new hour of the show, and we do it right now.
Klein Alley Show.
Good morning. It's time for a morning show with the stupid man, effing Kevin. Sally Johnson. Here on the world famous KROQ.
Welcome to your Tuesday morning, just after 7 o'clock. We are Klein Alley Show. Another hot one today in sunny Southern California. We got lots going on this hour. We unload GOAT together. All of your comments, critiques, and criticisms on the GOAT line that have been piling up, especially the week we were away for the 4th. One of the angriest listeners, as it pertains to me, we will listen to that message. And I wish I could disagree with everything that guy says, but he makes some good points.
Do you think he'll still be listening, or is it somebody who's angry but will continue to listen?
He claims he does not listen. Claims that when the show starts, he leaves, but then the message takes a couple of twists and turns, so we'll take a listen to that. That's coming up. If you've left any messages on the GOAT line, 844-956-GOAT, there for you podcast listeners or those of you that can't get through during the live show. We'll unload GOAT together in a moment. Clickbait to get to a little bit later this morning as well, and what officially makes a summer vacation. There are certain things that I think we can all agree have to happen for it to be an official summer vacation.
Yeah, Jake had mentioned getting a sunburn. I think that is the marker of a successful summer vacation.
As we are saying that, my back is peeling right now. I mean,
doesn't it feel good?
No, it's itchy and feels terrible. And probably that's skin cancer making its way up and down my spine as we speak. But I do feel like, I got the most out of that sun.
I think being hungover at like 6 p.m. too is a good marker.
Yeah, the day drinking has gotten hefty this year, to say the least.
And then you take a nap and you wake up hungover and then you just start drinking again.
So we'll get into the official, what are the marks of an official successful summer vacation, and only seems to happen this time of the year, so that's coming up this hour as well. If you need us, 800-520-1067. Those are the numbers to join the show.
Klein Alley Show.
Klein Alley Show. We're getting into the sweet spot of the show where you need to be listening very intently for a Green Day song that will happen sometime between 8:15 and 8:30. Get your key to start your very own Green Day signature Corvette. You can see what it actually looks like. The actual car, you can see what it looks like up on our socials at Klein Alley Show. It is a damn good-looking car, and it will go to one of you. All you got to do is get that key. Also, if you are caller 10 when we play that Green Day song this morning, you'll get $1,000 cash money. That is yours. And we're talking about cars a lot this week because it's also Park Week is back. Park Week is our way to shame all of the terrible parkers that probably will ruin every single parking lot and parking experience you have. Doesn't matter where you go, they are the worst. And people have been sending us pictures, but also, go ahead, sir, you think you know the worst type of parker?
The car that decides to want to back into a space, holding up the entire garage, drives me.
Yeah, well, we got a lot of people that have sent in the random guy who decides to back in.
When it's a tight garage,
right,
too. A tight, covered garage situation where you're going to be waiting and you've got a line of people behind you because some a-hole has decided, I got to back in.
Got to back. So we will get into it coming up, and we will profile one of the worst types of parkers coming up next hour. But continue to send us your pictures. Tag us. Take them. Tag us. And hopefully this will teach people a lesson about parking irresponsibly at Klein Alley Show on the socials. All right, let's get to your news right now, and then we get into a brand new hour of the show.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News. First counting crows, and now he loves Ricky Martin.
I'm a Ricky Martin head.
What the heck is happening to Klein?
That is out of context.
No, it's very much in context.
I don't think you need more context. You said it.
I'm a Ricky Martin head was completely out of context.
I'll explain it to it.
We don't have time.
You don't have time.
All right.
You're Ricky Martin.
Be honest. As ChatGPT gets bigger and bigger, you have used it to do some of the dirty work that you didn't want to do yourself, whether it was writing an email, a thank you note, or even a full essay, or even your wedding vows. People are using it for everything. And according to a new study, AI-written college exams are not only becoming a regular thing, they go undetected 94% of the time.
Love it.
When a human makes no edits whatsoever, doesn't even proofread it, just AI writes it and they send it off. And where will this leave us when we are all depending on AI to be smart for us and we learn nothing, retain nothing, become completely dependent on technology, and then helpless without it? They're starting to consider going back to handwritten exams and essays.
No.
Because they're like, well, how are we going to combat this? It's really impossible to tell what's AI and what's not. So the only solution is for people to start writing again.
So you're going to have to get a ChatGPT essay, then you're going to have to transcribe it by hand and turn it in. Oh, so much work. You might as well just write the paper yourself at that point. That is, they should say, look, you have two options. You can either write it yourself and use a keyboard, computer, or
you have to handwrite
or
AI.
if you're going to steal it, you can steal it, but you have to handwrite it.
I think more people would type it out.
Yeah, I feel like I would just rather type it out.
I mean, copying something down, I feel like it has become such a slow process for me because my memory is so shot.
That was literally a punishment in school.
Yes, that's true, Jake. Having to write something over and over again, that was punishment because writing is annoying.
We've all accepted the fact we're getting dumber. And it's not that we're dumber by choice. It's that, technology has made a lot of things.
No, we're dumber by choice.
Some of us are dumber by choice.
This is being dumber by choice.
No, but also this is kind of, it's like work harder, not, what do they say? Work smarter, not harder or something?
Let's ask AI.
ChatGPT, what's the phrase?
Say?
I don't even remember what it is.
What did some guy actually say years ago?
This is, they're being smart. You're using more time.
Yeah, but you're not learning anything. The whole point of doing a college exam or an essay is to learn something in the process of doing it.
No,
yes,
it's not.
It is.
It's not about, it's about the whole process of doing a college exam or, essay is not to learn anything. It is really just to practice the concept of deadlines, and you have to have it in by this date.
That's part of it, too.
You're supposed to, plan your time wisely. But let me tell you something. I made it through, believe it or not, a college in the exact amount of time I should have done it. Close to 5, but 4-ish years. And I don't remember one thing I ever wrote, ever. But I do remember I would, the night before, be like, oh, crap, that's tomorrow? And then I
remember I did a book report on Black Mamba Snake and on San Juan Bautista, the mission.
But what do you remember from any of that?
I remember those things.
But you don't remember anything. I did give a very impassionate speech about why weed should be legal.
Okay, there you go. And that was something that you were passionate about, but you have to discover what you're passionate about through the process of writing.
I would have been just as passionate had ChatGPT done that for me. I still would have felt the exact same.
You wouldn't have even read it, though. You would have said, write me an essay about weed legalization and then sent it off.
But most people still did the equivalent of that when we went to school, which is you would find, you'd find blurbs on Wikipedia or whatever. You just copy-paste and change the font to Courier New because it made the pages seem longer.
Well, yeah, you're right.
So there you go. That's just good old-fashioned human brain
We're
working.
always copying. We're just copying from different sources.
That at least took effort because you had to copy from a few different things and then
you had to look at different books and be like, all right, but you had to form an argument using those things all together. Anyway.
You had to. Jeff, you're on KROQ. Go ahead. What's up?
Our computer systems went down in the entire auto industry, 30,000 car dealers. And last week I was literally teaching people how to use a calculator. And no one knew how to calculate percentages. I mean, it was just a giant shit show.
Well, can't say that. Can't say that word. But I hear you.
Oh.
It was an S show.
It was an S show there because they didn't even know how to do basic math. Just even basic. He had a guy to hand him a calculator. I imagine. Yesterday we put up a video of Postmaster Johnny trying to fill out a check. And it was hilarious.
Gosh, I know. He just wrote $40 twice.
$40
and then wrote
LLC Chipotle.
Where he thinks Klein was going to spend the $40.
The video's up on our socials, but I mean, I would imagine if we handed Postmaster Johnny a calculator and asked him to figure out, maybe that'll be today's video, Could he figure out how to, a percentage of something
I
using
wonder
just
if
a
there's
calculator?
some people that think it's an old phone.
I'll have you know, in school when I used the calculator,
You wrote boobs.
yeah, you could write boobies on there.
I know.
8008135.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Oh, you went boobies. Oh, you didn't even just do boobs.
That's his passcode to his phone.
We learned in school.
Yeah, good.
Oh, great.
That's right.
All right, drinking heavily is the sign of a good summer vacation, or is it? The rise of non-alcoholic beer and wine would say otherwise. In fact, it indicates that people are sobering up more than ever, or at least they're all on edibles and they just don't want to get crossfaded. The company Athletic Brewing is a non-alcoholic beer company, and they have officially doubled their value and are now worth $800 million. And it's all because people are either getting sober and not drinking as much alcoholic beer, or they're buying it on accident like I did. This is the beer that I accidentally bought, and it looks exactly like real beer, and it actually tasted great. And if you want that summer vibe where you just have a nice beer in your hand and it's cold, but you don't want to get wasted at 2 p.m., then this is the choice for you, and more people are making that choice.
I mean, this is like decaf coffee drinkers. They're confused. Is really what
They're
it
not
is.
thinking clearly.
They're not thinking clearly.
They're not drunk enough to think
because they
clearly.
need caffeine and alcohol to think clearly.
Klein Alley Show. Mornings on KROQ 106.7
We
KROQ.
will unveil the newest Klein Alley Show merch. You'll get your hands on it first before anyone else. We got some to give you, courtesy of our friends at Smoke Flower. In fact, the founder, CEO, creative director behind the OC-born LA brand streetwear clothing, Smoke Flower, which I'm actually wearing a Smoke Flower shirt right now, coincidentally, Allie. Not a Klein Alley Show shirt, because I didn't realize the guy had done this. We met Kevin a while ago at one of our shows, and we were talking about how we don't have any cool merch for our show. And he's like, don't worry, I'm on it.
And he's a big, genuine fan of KROQ music
Oh, my
and
God.
KROQ in general.
All the beach vibe stuff, Slightly Stupid, Sublime, Dirty Heads, like that whole SoCal vibe is what they embody in the clothing. Anyway, he's going to be coming by to unveil the new merch he's doing. And this is not for sale stuff. We're not going to nickel and dime you guys. We're going to just give them to you. So if you want some Klein Alley Show merch, I'm sure it's going to look cool in the stuff we put together, because this guy actually knows what he's doing.
You mean it's better than just Times New Roman or Georgia font?
That's better than anything we could have done, for sure. So that's coming up next hour on the show. And also we'll get into Biden once again, proving that he is mentally fit to be president, with some more audio he's recorded just for us. Exclusive stuff. I don't know how CNN's not all over this. So we'll get to that coming up next hour. But first, what's happening in the world? Your news.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News. What are the chances she'll know the details of the stories? I'm guessing none.
Great. All right, everyone loves a comeback, whether it's Eminem, who you just heard, spaghetti straps, bucket hats, movies that were popular in the 90s and 2000s. There's another thing making a comeback that was very much in the 90s and 2000s. The Bellybutton ring is in again. There was this kind of clean girl look that was dominating for a while, which is, my body's my temple, I'm not going to have tattoos or piercings and everything, like my makeup's natural, blah, blah, blah. Now there is a resurgence of this indie sleaze revival where midriffs are coming out again, piercings are all over the place, and you're seeing more and more celebrities, which eventually means regular people, posting pictures with belly button rings. Yeah. And that is something that I will say I have done.
Ugh.
And let me just say, pay attention to the healing process, because I don't think I paid much attention back then, and I think it kind of bit me in the ass, and I was never able to really keep my belly button ring because it was always infected, and then I took it out, and now it's still like halfway pierced, and it looks really gross. So just fast forward 10 years into the future and know what you're getting into.
Yeah, you should probably post something as a cautionary tale, a little PSA.
I'll post all the things that get stuck in it.
Oh, God, that is
just kidding.
so gross. What a disgusting picture you are painting right now. Welcome, new listeners.
Saying,
That's Alan.
You got the celebrity photos of all the cute belly button rings. I'm just saying there's a dark side to the belly button ring that people need to know about before they decide.
Yeah.
Dark side of belly button ring.
You know, it's funny because you think, like, do you think in general you have to have a good-looking belly button, or like that area's got to be good to pull that off, or is the belly button ring a great distraction away from?
Well, I think that's what people are finding. Is that, yeah, you can have whatever the washboard abs and have a belly button ring. But some of these pictures that I'm seeing are celebrities that are, quote, body positive. There's one of Vanessa Hudgens who's pregnant. She's got a belly button ring. So it's just something that's being added to every body type.
That's how you know when the baby's coming, when the thing pops off. It's like when the turkey's done.
Yeah.
Belly button ring just fires across the room.
And then you know.
Baby's coming.
Yep.
I used to find that very sexy. Very sexy.
Until now?
Until Allie just told that story. And now it has been ruined forever. So that you've just now mushed the newest comeback, which is the piercing of the belly button.
So you don't think it's hot anymore? Or you still do? If you saw someone now that was like...
My wife, when I started dating her, she had a belly button ring, but it was like almost like not a chandelier, but it wasn't just a ring. It felt
I know what you're saying.
I feel like it's something hung from there.
Those were the ones from the 2000s where it was like they were like little dangles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
You like those ones?
I like
the
that.
Britney Spears type ones?
Yeah, it was like little wind chimes for the vagina.
Vagina.
Yeah, I mean, like you could tell it was like, it was getting to the good spot.
When the weather's nice.
Yeah, you could tell.
All right,
Tell what the breeze was down there.
Rent is higher than ever in LA, even though it took a dip. It's back up again. I'm sorry, Jake. If you're lucky enough to own your own place, you have a different problem, and that is insurance. Homeowner insurance is getting worse and worse. It's been harder and harder to get it because a lot of the major companies are dropping policies, leaving California, not accepting new customers, and it's gotten so bad now that San Bernardino County is asking for a state of emergency to be declared. And if they are able to do this, if they actually do declare a state of emergency, it would force homeowner insurance companies not to drop you. So they would not be allowed to drop you if they declared a state of emergency. And I feel like at this point, yeah, let's do it. Because you're supposed to have it,
well,
but if no one can afford it, then what the hell are you supposed to do? It's the same with car insurance.
We all have insurance because we're forced to have insurance.
Yes, but we can't be forced to have something we can't afford.
If no one had insurance, then aren't we all, once again, even Steven across the board? And then you just got to drive all of a sudden you start thinking twice before you start.
I know that's like.
You're like, I better look both ways 4 times.
I'm going to start actually stopping at the stop sign. Because I don't have insurance
because
anymore.
This is on me. I'm going to pay cash.
Yeah, Johnny just got dropped. He was covered by his mom for a little bit. And Postmaster Johnny now says he's not insured because he's 26 or something, so he got dropped. And he's like, now, every once in a while, he's like, I don't know if I should do that. I'm currently currently have no insurance. Like, Johnny's making wise choices now with his life.
Yeah, my frontal lobe is fully developed now. Ever since I turned 25, now I could fully think now.
I don't think so.
What?
Not if you've heard this show.
Yeah, that's the thing. Your frontal lobe doesn't develop until you're 25, 26.
Trust me.
Did you learn that on TikTok?
I've had enough conversations with you to know your frontal lobe is not fully developed. Don't worry.
Got another decade.
Klein Alley Show.
What a wonderful day! Nothing pleasant was about that. Sorry.
106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
Welcome to your 9 o'clock hour, world famous KROQ Klein Alley Show. It's going to be a good hour for you, great hour for us. Can't wait to see the new Klein Alley Show merch that will be unveiled, and then we'll give some away immediately. If you want that, consider yourself. Let's see. I don't know how much. I actually don't know how many of these shirts this guy's bringing. So
562 said, Klein Alley Show merch, please sign me up. Where do I buy it? That's the thing. You don't need to buy it.
No. It is truly.
It wasn't made by us.
It is it is priceless. You could not even put a price on it. Trust me, if they could have sold it, they would have. But they can't, so we give it to you. And I can't wait. So that'll be happening later this hour. We got the president on with us in just a moment to break down that he is mentally fit and ready to rule. And lots of other things going on this hour on the show as well. Hey, thanks for checking out some of our radio show on KROQ. Just between you and me, we're about to fire Allie, so hopefully you didn't get used to her too much. But thanks for checking it out, and we appreciate you checking out the live radio show. And
hey, what are you guys doing?
Nothing.
But you're filming something. Aren't they supposed to be involved in this?
We're not filming anything.
There's a camera right there.
Just part of the... Bye.